Okay, and now I'm going to modify this program, right? So in earlier programs, like old programs, right? So in we declare variable and then we assign value. We call the value is hard coded, right? So here we call the value is hard coded, right? So in here I assign the value to the variable, right? So but we know how to take values from the user, right? So you know how to take inputs from the user, right? Right now I'm not going to assign value at the beginning. Instead of that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take input from the user, right? So you know, before taking the input from the user, we can print a message, right? So we can say enter marks, right? Enter marks. Then we can uh, take the inputs. So how can we take the input? So there's a function called scanf. Scanf. So by using the scanf function, we can take the input from the user. So in here I specify what I want to take, integer. I want to take integer data type, integer, and then I put the address of variable, that is marks, right? Marks. And then I save this, and then I compile this, right? Then I execute. Now you can see there's a message called enter marks. So I enter say 65. Now you can see they take the 65. So according to my input, the condition is true. Therefore, this if block will be executed, right? So depending on my input, the output will be decided, right? So in here, if I enter say 45, 45, then 40, right? Then the 40 greater than 50, that is false, then else block will be executed. Else block will be executed. In addition to that, the outside statements. So outside from the if else statements are executed. That is the statement line number 17, that is by will be printed, right? So in here, there's a small some extra things. So that is then here the condition is say marks is greater than or equal 50, greater than or equal 50. Marks is greater than or equal 50. So let's see what will happen if I enter 50. So if it is 50 here, marks is 50, 50 greater than or equal 50. Then not 50 is not greater than 50, but that is equal 50. That is equal 50. That is this condition is true. Then you know this if block will be if block is executed, right? So because now marks is 50, 50 is equal to 50. Then marks is 50, 50 is equal to 50. That is if block is executed. If block is executed, right? So that's about the if else statement. If else statement. So now you know how to use if else statement, all right? So this is the example that I have did in div C++. Okay. Then next one is nested if else statement. Nested if else statement. That means you have in earlier we have only one condition. In earlier we have only one condition. So if you have more than one condition, if you have more than one condition, then you have to use nested if else statements. Nested if else statement. Put if and condition one, right? So if it is true, then we can have this if block. If block. Then so if it is true, this if block will be executed. Then I'll move to the next condition. So if this is true, else if this is true, this statement or statement one, or we call this block one. Block one will be executed. If it is false, if this is false, that is if condition one is false, then I'll move to the else if, because this is because the false of condition one. False of condition one, due to false of condition one, then I'll move to the else. Then I have another condition, therefore I have to put if else if. Then in here we can have a second condition. So if this condition number 2 is true, if this is true, then I can have another block. say block number 2, or we call statement 2. Statement means it may be a one statement or number of statements, right? It may be one or more statements. So if this is false, that is, if this condition number 2 is false, then I'll move to the next condition. That is else if, then I can have another condition, condition number 3. If this is true, then I can have a block number 3, statements 3, right? And then close this. And then else if, then I can have a condition 4, condition 4, right? Condition 4 is a block number 4. Then if this is true, then I can have a set of statements within this block, right? And then I go to the else statement, else, then we can have a set of statements in here, right? So from the outside if else nested if else statement, I can have any number of statements, right? So this is the relevant flowchart, condition 1. So if this is true, I can have statement 1. Statement 1 means there can be more than one statement as well, right? So if this is false, then I can go to the condition 2. Condition 2. If this is true, that means if the condition number 2 is true, then I can have actually this is not statement 1, that is statement 2, right? So here I copied the same process, so that's why I'm sorry. So this is 2, this is 3, and then this is 4. This is 4, right? That is statement number 1, 2, 3, and 4. That means the block, actually these blocks are executed. So if this is true, statement 1 is executed. If this is false, go to condition 2. And then if this is condition 2 is true, then statements 2 or block number 2 is executed, right? If this is false, that is, if condition 2 is false, then go to the condition 3. Condition 3. If this is true, then statement 3 is executed, or this block will be executed, right? So if this is false, then go to the condition 4. Condition 4. If condition 4 is true, then statement 4 is executed. Statement 4 means this block, right? Actually, it should be 4, right? Right. So then go to there. If condition 4 is false, then the default condition or this block will be executed. That is default because it put else. So there is no condition, right? So if this condition 4 is false, then this else block will be executed, right? Then end the program. If there is any other statements outside the if else nested if else statement, then these statements are executed, right? So that's it, right? So for example, in here, say I'll take marks. So if you want, you can take this one as input, and then if it is greater than 75, I can pick 8. Else if, that means if it is greater than 75, I can print A. Otherwise means if marks less than 75, then I can't print B. I have to check another condition. That is marks greater than 65. Marks greater than 65. If it is greater than 65, I can print B. Else means marks less than 65. So even marks less than 65, I can't say fail or C or whatever thing. So I have to check whether marks greater than 55. So if marks less than 65, I can't say C because I have to check whether marks greater than 55, right? If marks greater than 55, I can print C. Else means marks less than 55. So if it is less than 55, again I can't put output, or I can't print any grade, right? So I have to check whether marks greater than 35. If it is greater than 35, I can print S pass. Else means marks less than 35. So if marks less than 35, I can print fail. Right? And then I can put end of coding, that is the message, and then return 0 and close the program like that. So this is the relevant flow chart. So this first of all, I assign value, or I can take this one as a user input. Now you know how to take user input. And then this first condition, marks greater than 75, marks greater than 75. If this is true, I can print A. If this is true, I can print A. Else means if this is false, I can't print B. I have to check whether marks greater than 75, marks greater than 75. Sorry, marks greater than 65, marks greater than 65. If that is true, I can print B. I can print B. Otherwise means if marks less than 65, or this is false, if this is false, then I have to check whether marks greater than 55, marks greater than 55. So if it is greater than 55, so or if this is true, then I can print C. I can print C, right? Otherwise, that is otherwise means if this is false, I have to check marks greater than 35, marks greater than 35. If this is true, then I can print S. I can print S. Otherwise, that means if this is false, right? If this is false, I have to print fail. And the end of the if-else blocks, or the outside the if-else block, I can print any statement. In here, I print end of the grading, and then end the program. So this is the complete flowchart diagram for the this particular program. Now we can see how to do this in do C++. So I'll demonstrate it, right? Okay, then I'll take a new program. Say I'll create new program. Say first of all, I import the header file, and then I create the main method. So the main method, all right? Here I declare variable called marks, and then in here actually I take marks as a user input. So therefore I'll print say a message called say enter marks, like in previous program. All right. Then I take the input scanf. All right. So this is integer. Since this is integer, I put t and then comma, and then I take these inputs to the marks variable. All right. Now I check the condition. First one is marks greater than, or if you want, you can put the greater than or equal as well. I put say greater than or equal 75, right? Then if it is true, I print output is A. Output is A. Otherwise, that means if marks less than 75, then next one is else if. Then I can put next condition, that is marks greater than or equal 65. So if this is true, I can print. If this is true, I can print grade is B. Grade is B. Else I have to check next condition, that is marks greater than or equal 55. Greater than or equal 55. Right? So if it is true, I can say printf. Then in here output is C. Right? So if you want to keep some space, right? So in here we can put this curly bracket from here. Here I can move this curly bracket into there. Here also I can move the curly bracket into there. Right? Okay. Then else if next one is say marks greater than or equal 40. Right? Here, if this is true, I can print. Yes. Sorry. So not 40 in here. Actually, I can use the greater than rather than 40. I can use greater than or equal 35. Right? Okay. Then the final one is else if, that is marks greater than say 35. So if it is greater than 35, I can put print S, right? Otherwise, that is if it is less than 35, then there is no condition, no need to check any other condition. I can print uh, fail. Fail means if, that is if, right? And then this is the end of the outside the if else block. So I can printf end of grading or by or whatever, right? End of grading, right? And then here I can print uh, end of grading, and then I can return 0, right? Return 0, and then this is end of program. Then I close the main method, right? Okay. Then I compile this. So this is my program, right? This is my program, right? Okay, I'll put full screen like this. Okay, and then I compile this. All right, so this is grading. So therefore, I put say grading.c. Compile this, and then yeah, right. Okay, it says there is a error in here. What is the error in here? Syntax error. That is this statement not end up with semicolon. Then I put semicolon. Compile, and then I execute. Now you can see it says enter marks. If I put 80, that is A. Here you can see A, right? So actually in here, after the output, I can put go to next line. Go to next line by putting /n. Go to next line, right? Next line. So this 80, output is A and end of grading, right? So that is 80. So if it is say 70, if it is 70, if it is 70, you know, 70 is not greater than or equal 75, that is false. Then no, go to the next condition, marks that is 70 greater than 65, that is true. Therefore, they will print B, right? So let's see. If I put say 65, again, 65 is greater than, not greater than, but equal 65. Therefore, they will print B, right? So likewise, you can check this program. So for example, if I put say 20, probably that is F. That is F, right? Likewise, you can check this program. So you can actually we call that is testing. Testing. You can test every cases. Every cases means you can put the value which is greater than 75, and then value which is equal to 75, that is 75, and then the value below 75 greater than 65, say 70, and then you can put 65, and then you can put below 70 65, say 60, and then you can put 55. Likewise, you can check one by one, right? We call that is testing. All right, so that's about the if else statement, if nested if else statement, right? All right, so now you know how to use nested if else statements in our program, right? And the next one is switch statement. Switch means we can go one particular location from another location, right? Switching, right? Move from one to another. It says test the value of a variable and compare it with multiple traces. We can check a value of particular variable and compare it with multiple cases. We can define a set of cases, right? Let's take. Once the case is found, or once the case is matched, or once the case is found, right? Then the block of statements associated with that particular case is executed, right? So in here, the case is true, or the case match is found, or if it is matched, then we can define set of statements associated with that case. Then what will happen? The block of statements associated with that particular case is executed, right? So if case match is not found, so if it is not found, the default statements. We can have a statement called default statement. So default statement is executed and the control goes out from the switch block. Then the program exit from the switch block, right? So let uh, see the syntax of the switch case. So here you can have the term called switch, and here we can have a condition or expression, right? So then we can open the block, and then here we can define the case value one. Say case one, case one. So if it is found, then we can have set of statements, right? And then we can have a statement called block or break. That is, this case is break, right? This actually this b should be lowercase, and then case two, then block two, and then break it. Then likewise you can go up to case value n, and then block n will be executed and then break. Then finally we can have a default block. So if any case is not matched, then program will move to the default block. That block will be executed and break, right? Okay. So these are relevant flow charts, right? So these are the relevant flow chart. Come to switch case, right? Then they check the expression, they check the condition. So if it is match, then block one is executed. If it is match with case two, block two is executed. Otherwise, or if the switch expression is not matched with case one or two, then go to default statement, right? Okay, let's see. So this is the example, right? So it's a grade. Then here I assign character. Again, you can take this grade as a user input, right? It's a grade. Grade is a C, right? Then here the variable is grade. Then inside the switch case, we can have that expression. That is, I pass that variable called grade. I pass the variable called grade to the switch expression. Now this variable is in here. What is the value of variable? C. Now because here I assign C. Instead of this instead of this assignment, what we can do, we can take this grade from the keyboard or as a user input, right? You know how to take input from the user, right? So in here I have a variable called grade. So in here I have a variable called grade, right? So that grade is there, right? So this grade contains the value. In my case, I have a value called C. Then the first case is it match with case A. A means, so this is the value. Here I match with value A because in here I put quotation. Quotation means this is a character. So if it is A, then I print very good. But in my case, that is C. So this is not match, right? Then this is not match. The next one is case B. So if it is B, I can put any other statement. Here I take two statements together. So here I'll take two statements are together, B and C. Case B and case C. That means if the grade is B and C, either B or C, then here we put good. Here we print good. Or you can say if it is B good, if it is C, you can say that is not bad or something like that. All right. And then next one. If it is case D, so according to my value, this is the output because my value is C. In here, case D is, so if it is D, I can say pass. Right? And then if it is F, we can say try again. And default one is invalid grade. For example, if user input say A, there's a value. If user input B, there is a value. That is out. There is a match case. If user input C, there is a match case. If user input D, there is a match case. If user input F, there is a match case. If user input say P or any other character than A, B, C, D, F, say user input S, there is no match case. Then the default statement will be executed. That is invalid grade. All right. So in here, after this, right, we can print your grade is something like this. So in here, we can have print statement, right? Okay, likewise, we can create switch cases. So I'll demonstrate one example, right? So let's see. I'll demonstrate. Actually, I'm going to demonstrate two examples. Two examples, right? Okay, so let's see. Just wait. Okay, then in here I create a say a new program. Include header file stdio.h, right? And the main method, right? So this is the main method. And then in here I take user input, say int. Say in this time I'm going to take say a number, right? Number. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a number, say 1 to 7, 1 to 7. So depending on the number, I'm going to print the say day. That is, number 1 is Sunday, number 2 is Monday, number 3 is Tuesday, number 4 is Wednesday, so if you enter any other number, the number other than the 1 to 7, say for example say 10, then I say this is a default input. So this is invalid input. Then I'll go to the default case in number. Then I'll output message call enter number of the day number. All right. So then I'll go to the next line as well. Then I'll get that input, say scanf, right? So the input is the integer, right? Then and number and num. So that is the variable. So then I'll go to the switch case. Switch, right? Then I'll check the number, right? Then switch block. This is the switch block. So if number is 1, so case, then the value. If it is 1, then I put colon, right? I put colon. So because in here you can see, right? So in this program I put a colon, right? Colon, and then a set of statements that I need to execute. So if it is true or the case is match, or in other words, if you say enter 1, then I print printf, then I print if it is 1 Sunday, that's day is 1 Sunday /n, right? And then I break the case, that is case is 4. Then if it is a 2, that is case, this is not case 2, that case if the value is 2, that is the value of the variable num, right? If this value of this num is 2, if it is true, then I can printf, right? Monday /n, right? And then this is break. Then case, if it is 3, if value is 3, printf, right? And then Tuesday /n, all right? And then break. Then case 4, if it is 4, and then printf, and then that is say Wednesday. If it is 4, that is say Wednesday. So likewise we can print any day, right? Wednesday and case 5. Likewise we can define so the day. So if it is 5, printf. So you know, so for the time it's I say it is right. Next one is case 6. So if it is 6, I can say Friday. Printf. Say Friday. So you can print here after that. So actual break is the exit point of that case. So next one is say case 7. So if it is 7, I can print what Saturday. Right, like this, and then break. So this is a break for exit point of the case, right? So every message end up with /n because then it will move the next line. Next line, right? So if someone enter, right, the number other than the 1 to 7, say for example, if it is 0 or 8 or 10, then we can define default case, default. All right, then I can print that is invalid input, or please enter number between 1 to 7. And then at the same time we can say before that, if you want, you can print printf, and then I can print say invalid input n. We can put /n. So this is the default case, right? Default case means if any case is not matched, then the default case will be executed, right? And then end of the switch case, the end of the switch case, right? Then I'll save this switch 1.c, right? So here semicolon is missing, and then I compile this, right? Then I execute, right? So say enter number of the day, say I enter 1, so that is Sun. Then if I enter 2, that is Monday. So then say if I enter 7, that is Saturday. All right. Then if I enter say 0, then it's a invalid input. So if I enter 0, the case, any case is not matched. So this is not matched. If it is 0, this is not matched. This is not matched. So this is not matched. So anyone is not matched. So default block will be executed. So actually default one is executed. So that's why I got this output, invalid input. Please enter number between 1 to 7, right? Okay. So likewise, we can use the switch cases as well. So not only numbers, you can use the characters as well, right? So not only numbers, you can use the characters as well, right? So for the time being, I save the same program using say switch 2, and then I change this. So if you want to enter a character, how can I change this? So in here, enter say character, enter say enter grade, enter grade. So this is different program, right? So in here I put enter grade. So that is a character, therefore I put C, right? So I change variable as grade, right? So now you know the programming, that's why I change like this grade. Then here I pass the variable grade to the switch case, right? So if it is A, so if it is A, so if anyone put A, then here if it is A, I can say very good. So if it is B, something like that, something like this, say if it is B, I can say good. So if it is C, I can say not bad, something like that, right? Not bad, like that. Or fair, all right? So if it is say S, or I can say not enough, or say so if it is yes, just passed, so that is just passed, right? Say not enough, right? So if it is fair, we can say try again, or you can use any message, right? Try again, right? So default case is if any cases are not matched, right, then go to the default case. So default case, so if anyone enters or any other character, we can say invalid input. Then please enter, we can say please enter, say capital A or B or C or S or F, right? Then I save this and then I compile this, since there are There is no error. Say printf, yeah, enter grade. Then I enter A. You can see very good. Right? You can see it's very good. So if I enter a G, this is an invalid input. So likewise, you can do this programming, this switch case in our programming, right? So just you can get practice this, right? Then if you have any problem regarding this, you can ask, right? Okay, then I stop in here. So try to do all the programming, right? So this condition 1, 2, 3, right? So you can do these programming, these programs easily, right? Okay, then I'll stop in here. Thank you very much.